Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the BERNY 2676M homage to an Omega Aquaterra 38. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing a Cadison C8203 homage to a Rolex President. And Greg was wearing a Liege 8958 homage to a Tudor Black Bay. Grogu said somebody stole the Millennium Falcon, so Han Solo posted a reward. A Jawa called Han and told him he found it, but he arrived with an obvious fake. Princess Leia asked, "What is it?" Han Solo said, "The stuff that dreams are made of." Alright, let's take a look at the watch. It comes in this typical box that all BERNYs seem to come in, and comes on this typical pillow that all BERNYs seem to come in. And it comes with the instruction manual. I think we know how to use a three-hander quartz, but here we go. This is the fourth BERNY on my channel. After I ordered my last BERNY, they reached out to me and wanted to know if I wanted to review this one and offered it to me for half off. I said sure. This looks very similar but not identical to the new 38mm Omega Aquaterras and comes in many different colors similar to the Omegas. The Omega Aquaterras are their basic steel sports watches, which would be their equivalent to an Oyster Perpetual. Despite the many similarities, it's hard to call this an homage and in reality something inspired by the Omega, as it does not look like a clone. The dial indices and chapter ring do look like the Omega, but that is it. This has a day date at the 3 instead of a single date at the 6. Hands do not resemble an Omega, with no arrow tips on the second hand and minute hand. The bracelet is an H-link instead of a 3-link. This is also a quartz watch instead of an automatic. The watch is 39.5 millimeters at the bezel, which is bigger than the Omega 38. 46.8 millimeters lug to lug, which is a pretty good lug width for a watch almost 40 millimeters. It's only 9.3 millimeters thick. Anything under 10 is pretty thin. Has a 20 millimeter lug width, and it only weighs 92 grams with no links removed. The bezel is smooth polished. The dial is a flat green with a really nice sunburst effect. Look at that. It has BERNY printed on top. BERNY doesn't have a logo. Their name is their logo. And it says quartz on the bottom with no mention of the water resistance, because you only get 30 in. Who wants to brag about that? It has Lume trapezoid indices. It has a chapter ring with minute markers and then numbers at the 5s. It has Lume stick hands and an unlumed second hand that's really thin. The second hand hits the marks pretty good when you start at the 12, but when you get to the 30 it starts missing a little bit, but not horrible. Not enough that it will set off your second-hand quartz OCD or anything. Has a day date at the 3, and it has a little smaller indus at the 3. Has an unsigned push-pull crown. The crown action is a little loose but not horrible. And this is a Miyota movement, so when you go to push it in, oh, you got a little jump there. You have to be careful when you push it in. If you can push it in and not get the jump, you just have to make sure you do it just right and don't get sloppy about it. Has a flat mineral glass, and it just barely sticks up past the bezel. This case is solid steel and brushed everywhere, including tops and bottoms and the lugs. Most cases have a little bit of polish, but not this one. The case, though, it's very compact for a almost 40 millimeter watch. I mean, it doesn't take up much size. The case back is a polished screw down. These little notches here are not for show. This is actually a screw down. I was kind of skeptical at first, considering the water resistance of 30, but I looked and looked and couldn't find any pry slots, and so I got out the wrench and I unscrewed it. It's definitely a screw down, so I'll show you the movement here. There's the movement. It's the Miyota 2105. This is just your cheap basic quartz Miyota movement, but at least it's a Miyota, not Chinese made. Japanese, they just make better movements than the Chinese. If you look there, you have the BERNY name, then you have the model number, and once again, you only get 30 meters of water resistance. Then there is this H-link bracelet, which will just make you shake your head. It has hollow inverted end links, and it has these poorly rolled links. You can really see them. Look at that. Really bad, huge seams, big gaps. And instead of push pin adjusters, you have these things where you have to put a tool in there and pull out the middle. I tried to do this once with another bracelet and ended up breaking it. So I'm didn't want to do that and break this, but fortunately I don't have to remove any links anyway, because this bracelet was only barely big enough to fit my 7.5-inch wrist. And then look at this signed clasp. It says BERNY, but man, the clasp looks like it should be on a Benyar. It's just a press clasp with no micro adjust. And yeah, this bracelet is really bad. I was really surprised. This bracelet is not well made. It is not good enough for a $50 watch. Maybe a $20 watch, but not a $50 watch. So yeah, very disappointed in this bracelet. Obviously, BERNY's got some blowback about this bracelet, because I noticed when I went to their site where they sell this watch now, the watch now comes with an additional leather strap. So I think that was their solution for everybody not liking this watch. But that was after I was sent this watch, so I did not get the leather strap. If you look at their AliExpress ad, it looks like it's genuine leather, but it's a faux alligator pattern. And the green one comes with a black, which to me, black just doesn't go with this green. It would be much better with the brown. So, but I can't review the strap because they didn't send it to me. So here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. It wears nice. It's nice and flat, and it's light. But once again, I removed no links on this watch. So if your wrist is bigger than 7.5, you will not be able to wear this on the supplied bracelet. It is a hair loose, but if I remove a link, it'll be way too tight. Plus, it's a really light watch, so it's okay to be loose. Here's the watch on a leather strap. Does look nice with brown leather, and that does look a lot better than that cheap old bracelet. I wish I had the leather strap that's now included with this watch, but I do not. Here it is on a black leather strap. I don't think it looks good on black. I don't think that green goes well. And if you look at the AliExpress site for this watch, it now comes with an additional black leather strap and not brown. For some reason, they use brown in other colors, but not this one. And I just think brown looks so much better with this shade of green than black. Here we are in the Lume room. The last two BERNYs I tested had great Lume, but I have a feeling this one does not. As we speed up the time, we see everything fades rather quickly. This Lume is very substandard, and I was expecting a lot better from a BERNY because they have had much better Lume in the past. What do I like about this watch? Well, I like the sunburst dial. It really looks nice. And I like this case. It's a really good case for a watch like this. Solid steel, completely brushed everywhere. And I like the fact that the second hand hits most of the marks, so it doesn't trigger your second hand OCD. What are my gripes and groans? Rolled bracelet. That is too short. Press clasp with no micro adjust. Only 30 meters despite a screw down case back. And some pretty bad lume. Do I recommend this watch? Well, I hope this doesn't ruin my relationship with BERNY because I've loved the other 3 watches I've reviewed, but I can't recommend a watch that sells for about $45 with a bracelet this bad. Yes, they now include an additional leather strap, but I don't have one and must review the watch I have. I think they would be better off lowering the price $10 to $20 and you can find your own strap. Well, thank you for watching my review of the BERNY 2676M, and I will be back with another review or unboxing. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.